So is there anybody right now who I need to speak to individually in terms of reading what they have, trying to guide them in the right direction in terms of websites, anything like that? I see one hand in the air.
Oh yeah, I do.
Two hands in the air. Excellent. So I will read Kylie's first. Is that what you want?
Okay. Don't make fun of me for any spelling mistakes.
I will not. Is there anything specific you want me to look at in here?
The whole thing.
The whole thing. So that's very, very specific. So the god that stood out to me was short for Kamadeva.
Where are we going? On this. Just Google search.
Well, yeah, Google search. Guys, excellent website if you're able to get onto is the Sanditon Society. I mentioned it yesterday up on the board. It'll have a lot of information if you're able to get onto it.
I can't.
You can't? I will try on Miss Wolfmeyer's laptop to bring some stuff up.
It's restricted.
Wait, what can we get onto?
Yeah, if you guys type into Google search, Sanditon Society, Hindu Gods and Goddesses, I think everyone was available last class when we checked besides Brahma. I don't know why Brahma wasn't available. Well, you should be able to check out at least, a dozen or so gods, if not more, on there. So that's an excellent website to kind of tap into.
Hi. Hi. I haven't seen you in forever, Ned. Do you want Nick to make up his... Not so bad.
Yes, he's making up after school on Friday. We already talked about
Or
it.
we can do it today.
This is a dude.
What?
Do you want to do it today?
Whenever he wants. I'm fine. Yep.
That'll...
I'm after
He can
school.
do this research stuff at home.
Right. No, I don't mind staying after school if he wants to use the class for research. That's fine. I like the comparison to Cupid, Kylie. That's excellent. Instead of being a baby wearing a diaper.
I just as soon have you do it. You do it.
I had to look up how to spell diaper. I didn't want to spell it. I want to read this.
Do we have to...
What's the actual start? Type the journal entry.
I really don't have that many pages.
Right, so I'll get you another journal. You think you'll be able to finish it in this journal, or would you want another one right now? Okay, perfect. Just go catch these, buddy. Is there anybody who needs a blue journal who does not have one? Yes, I have Nick's right up posted on there. So it should be Salem's and then next up on the board. Yes, Kelly, that was an excellent start for yours. So where do you think you're going to...
Hey, look at it. It says Bhima is known as the Indian Cupid.
Oh, that was a nice comparison to see. So do you know where you're going to go with the next two paragraphs? Or are you doing a little research on that right now?
Well, I was kind of trying to brainstorm here.
Okay.
But I don't know what
Does your god take any different avatars or different figures, anything like that? Because I think Vishnu,
I read about
he
it.
takes 10 different avatars. So that's something to look at.
I know he's a son.
In terms of our do now, why do you think Hindus worship your god? Did you answer that? Because that could be another potential paragraph discussing why Hindus might worship it. So maybe that everybody, has a desire to be loved. It symbolizes kind of a form of peace to the people of India, so you can talk about it in that context. I also have up here kind of these question prompts. Remember from yesterday, if you want to look on at those, do you have a copy of that? So that's something else. Yeah, what's up, Sierra?
How should I start this?
So I want you to be creative, right?
My
Is it? If Mr. Raymer sees that, is he going to say, okay, I want to read the rest of that? If it just says, my Hindu god is Mr. Raymer.
Yeah, but
No.
what am I?
Right, so I want you to be creative. So what, you did Shiva? You said Shiva takes 10 different forms, right? So that's pretty, that might be something to start off with. Can you imagine a god taking, 10 different physical 10 different physical forms, or something along those lines? Something you find interesting about Shiva. Maybe start that off as your first sentence. Okay, so is Shiva the one with the blue skin?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe mention something about the blue skin. Something that's kind of catchy, to where if I show it to Mr. Raymer, he's going to say, okay, I want to read, the rest of this, journal entry. Excellent. Yes, 10 different avatars. Pretty cool.
Oh, when I remember that.
I'm on the BBC.
Yeah, that,
Oh, that's where I got it.
check out that Sanderson Society website, Adam. It's got a lot of good stuff on there. What's
Just a few. I mean,
you got what, that website? Skylar? Perfect. What one are you looking at now? Indra, is that the God of War? Is that what Indra is? What's that? Yep. Oh, what's up, Ben? You require my assistance? I will be right over. There you are.
I know.
Oh my god.
What's up?
I don't exactly understand what I'm supposed to do.
Okay. Well, that is what I'm here for, am I right? So, when you see these questions to think about, right, that looks like a lot, am I right? Because it's 8 questions. It takes up about 3/4 of our page of paper. What I want you to do is I want you to pick out probably 3 to 4 of those that are of interest to you, that you think are easy to respond back to, and I want you to focus on and maybe do a paragraph on each one of those that you find interesting, okay? So for example, are there any unique features? Well, if you ask me, 4 arms on a god, that's pretty unique, right? Oh, yep. So you talk about that. Maybe you talk about how there's elephants in the background, you know, pouring down, you know, water, gold. Maybe you talk about this bright light. So anything that sticks out to you, right? So that's one avenue to look at. Another one is kind of our do now question. So why do you think it appealed to people? You can elaborate on that a little bit more than you did in your do now, right? So I think you probably had something regarding like wealth, right, in your do now. So maybe you expand off the importance of wealth in society and having money and how that allows you to have, you know, food and shelter, and that's what it means to the people of India. So stuff like that, okay? What else do you need from me? I can see you're still thinking about it. So what do you, when you see like that picture, what do you like about it?
The picture.
So is there anything that sticks out to you about it? In terms of colors or what people are holding or anything like that? Right, so all those colors, if you ask me, they look pretty bright, all right, with the exception of the dark green back there. Elephants are light colored. We have that golden light coming from behind. We have Lakshmi's kind of pinkish, bright pink dress. So maybe talk something about the color pattern, something along those lines. What is Lakshmi the god of, or goddess of?
Prosperity. Prosperity.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, you might be able to expand off your do now, where you're talking about wealth and the importance of having money and what having money means to the people of Hindu India. You know, what do you find? What do you personally find most interesting about your god from the research? Is that website blocked? Do you know if your goddess takes any other forms? You know if it's...
Yes.
She does? Yes. So see, that's pretty cool, because if you ask me, that's unique in terms of not only the Hindu gods we're looking at, but think about like a modern day American culture, right? We don't think about gods with multiple arms and legs and anything like that, so maybe that's another thing worth touching on. So why don't we try right now, me and you, to pick out 3 or 4 of these that you think you can write about, okay? So let's look at these right now then. So we have, why do you think Hinduism appealed to the people of India? What does your god represent in the Hindu religion? Can you expand off of that one, do you think? Are there any unique features? Would you want to talk about, I don't know, the elephants, the multiple arms, standing on the lotus flower, or anything like that? Or do you want to pass on that one for now? Okay. So what aspects of the god do you find most interesting? So this is like an opinion for you. So this isn't something that you get right or wrong. As long as you have, you know, your 5 sentences where I can see you're putting in the effort, you're talking about your favorite parts of your god, or your least favorite parts, then that's a good one. Good. So we got 2. Why do you think this god appeals to the Hindus? So, yep, we talked about the prosperity. Oh, excellent. So the multiple physical forms. Do you like that one? Yep. So you have something with the colors that we talked about a little bit, if you want to touch on that. We have, let's say, has your god always been depicted the same way? I don't know if the picture of Lakshmi has changed over time, or if she used to be depicted with just two arms, but when Buddhism became popular, they had her depicted as with four arms or something like that, so that's another one to examine. But even right now, Ben, if you're able to do 3 full paragraphs off of these, right? 5 to 7 sentences, and then have an intro and a conclusion, that's a really good start, right?
I actually do enjoy the weather and watching it.
So do you need anything else out of me right now?
As a matter of fact, last night when I was checking out the forecast, I heard that there was
So you're locked on you should be basically locked on the internet. What are you trying to do?
Airplane mode.
and it's like a tremor.
So what does that do?
It,
Yeah, those
you
two
can't
islands.
use the internet.
Nantucket.
Interesting. So does that sound a good place to start with these 3 that we circled? Excellent. How are we doing here, gentlemen?
We're trying to make connections.
Between both your gods?
Yeah.
That's excellent.
I want to make connections. It sounds like fun.
Oh, well, you're open to do that as well. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
these guys, more than happy to have you in the yard.
Hard time coming up with.
So what do you guys have as you guys' traits?
Here's Durga.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
Kind of got a power or supreme being, right?
Durga is a form of. She's a fiercer form of my god.
Okay.
She killed more than one demon.
So
Durga.
right there is probably where you can make a connection, right? So Colby can talk about how his god is. Did you say is it an avatar of Durga, or is it a lesser form, of your god?
Fiercer form.
Oh, fiercer form. Okay. So
With 10 arms holding many weapons.
right. So he can expand on that as part of. And did you have Parvati? Is that what it is, or Kali? So Kali, and then
Kali defeated the demon. Drank the blood of a demon.
interesting. And is that how she turned into?
Every time a drop of blood from the demon would fall onto the battlefield, 1,000 demons would spring to life.
Interesting. So, could there potentially been a time where Durga battled Kali at all? If he is supreme power and fierce, and would he battle these demons at any point? What do you think? Even if it doesn't say that explicitly there, is that something a conclusion that you guys can maybe come to? Ben, what did you say yours was? Wealth? So right here we have wealth, power, and death, is it? So death and violence. So
Mine is
let's think,
prosperity.
so what connections can we make? So let's think, and I want you guys to think about this.
This one? Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So,
She was born from her forehead.
and one of these prompts that I think all you guys can discuss is talking about taking multiple forms, right? So that's one of the prompts down there. So Durga is a form of, was it from Parvati? Is that was the original one? So you guys can all talk about these coming from the same or a similar, I don't know, avatar. And then does Durga change into anything else? Do you know?
She was.
Because I know like Vishnu changes into like 10 different avatars. So some of that stuff is probably worth making a paragraph out of, okay? Just that being able to transform back and forth between different avatars.